Gen 5 crew, stand up! So Black, Blue, and White Flare released about 1 month ago, and it's actually the last set in the Scarlet and Violet era of the TCG, which is really crazy to think about. I got back into the hobby right before Surging Sparks dropped, so I was in the calm before the storm, and everything else happened. So it's kind of crazy to think we're now closing this era. We're gonna move on to the new one. I think it's Mega Evolutions, which I'm really hyped for. I like Mega Evolutions, but I figured like I'd just do like a little analysis of Black, Gold, and White Flare, how its release kind of affects the legacy, I guess, of like the Scarlet and Violet era, as well as how the set is in general. A spoiler alert, I think this is the best set in the Scarlet Violet era, like hands down, really easy. So Black, Gold, and White Flare is like, I guess what I would call sister sets. These sets encapsulate the entire region of Unova, which is like the 5th generation of Pokemon. Like for anyone that's actually played the games, that's just the best generation. It is what it is. So Nintendo actually split the Pokemon roster in half. So half of the Pokemon in Black and White are in Black Bolt, and another half are in White Flare. Like a little side cool thing that they did is that when you actually played the video game, like Pokemon Black and Pokemon White, there were some Pokemon that would find in one game and not the other. They actually carry that over into the actual TCG. So there's this Pokemon called Braviary, for example, that can only find in Pokemon White, which is the Pokemon game that features Zekrom, the black. Why they named it White, and then you get the black Zekrom, and they named it Black, and you get the White Pokemon Reshiram? I don't know, don't ask me. But they translated that by having the Braviary card, like the Pokemon in the card, be only in the Zekrom set, so Black Bolt, which I think is really cool that they did that. Additionally, which I think is like the biggest talking point right now, is that this set actually introduces a new type of rarity called BWR, or like Black White Rare. This is like the really cool all white Reshiram, all black Zekrom, and the all red Victini cards, which are just gorgeous and super cool. I'm so glad that I was able to actually get this out of the Japanese packs. Get the all black Zekrom, and it is so dope. Like, if I didn't get that in the Japanese version, dude, I'll be buying so many of these packs and ripping them, just trying to get one of them. Obviously, I prefer the all white Reshiram, but it's okay. I'll take the back Zekrom, equally as dope. Another thing, so like the back white rare, people actually don't know what the hit rates are. It is higher than the secret illustration rare, but we don't exactly know. Which is really cool as like kind of like the extra like pull factor on top of secret illustration rares. So in other sets, generally how a set works is you have all the Pokemon on the set, right? The base cars. This is like the regular Pokemon looking car, nothing fancy. You can have it like in reverse holo or regular holo. But Nintendo will then pick a couple of Pokemon from that listing, depending on the theme of the set, and make those illustration rare cards. So it'll be the ones that kind of the artworks on them, like the cooler looking ones, the ones you want to collect. And then Nintendo would take a smaller handful of these Pokemon and make them secret illustration rares, which are really the super valuable, super cool looking Pokemon cards that you want to get in the set. And obviously, not every Pokemon will have an illustration rare or a secret illustration rare usually. But in Black Bolt and White Flare, since they cut the Pokemon roster in half, like half of them again is in Black Bolt, other half are in White Flare, they made every single Pokemon in the respective sets have an illustration rare. Basically, that means that every single Pokemon in this generation has its own illustration rare. Some of them, all of them have a minimum illustration rare, because some of them also got upgraded to being secret illustration rares, and obviously you have the black and white rare, which is so cool. Like as a Gen 5 fan, I find it like it's so dope that Pokemon actually took the time and effort to give every one of these Pokemon an illustration rares. It's really cool to see like all the different Pokemon actually kind of be like alive in the sense that they're in their own environment, they're reacting to the world through like the art, as well as like some of these Pokemon have never seen an illustration rare before. Like my boy Sock, which carried me through the 2nd gen, by the way, actually never got an illustration rare up until this point. So again, showing a lot of love to every single Pokemon, and not just picking favorites of the most popular Pokemon, getting like illustration rares or secret illustration rares. So again, really dope. On top of this, average sets hit rates for getting like an illustration rare is about 1 in every 12 to 1 every 13 packs, which is like 2 booster bundles, and on average you'll get 1 illustration rare. For Black Bolt and White Flare, it's 1 in 6. They cut that in half. So if you were to get the booster bundle, which has 6 packs, you'll on average get 1 illustration rare, which is really nice. That's a really good hit rate compared to like the 1 in 12 that you would normally get. But to like balance that out, they made secret illustration rares a lot more harder to get. It would take like 1 out of 80 packs. which is steep, of course, but I mean, obviously, you get the illustration rare, so I think it kind of balances out. Another thing about the set is, you know how the other sets have like the other like boxes, like promotion boxes, have the big EX card, and like either you care about them or you don't care about them. So instead of being able to just slop in Black or White Flare, there's something called like the Victini illustration box, and they'll give you like the small little Victini illustration rare, but they also made the jumbo card, like the illustration rare too, which is such a cool concept. They're actually turning like these things no one cares about into the things you might even frame up or actually want to take care of and keep. Because I'm sorry, no one cares about Blood Moon or Solana EX jumbo card. Like no one cares. People will care about illustration where artwork's getting really big. That's cool. And think about like all the cool artworks you can get in the future, different Pokemon on the card. That's like really cool. Bravo. And lastly, because this set needs more W's, they added the Pokeball and Master Ball rarity back for a Black Gold and White Flare. And I'm not that big on the Pokeballs and Master Balls. Like they're cool, but I will admit like getting like a Pokeball or Master Ball like pattern on like the Pokemon you really like, it's pretty nice. Like I got it on Oshawa, like a regular Pokeball pattern on Oshawa, and I stayed that I kept it because obviously I need it for the best starter. It's just really cool. But yeah, again, more W's. So already, like this set has a lot of depth to it, and like thematically, it's amazing. Again, you have the new rare, Black and White rare of the really cool cards. You have every single Pokemon having an illustration rare, and then you also have the Pokeballs and Master Balls. Like that's just so much like in depth and flavor to this set, which is really refreshing. So price-wise, I think the prices of these are actually surprisingly good. At the time I'm like recording this, I think a Black Bolt booster pack is around $9. The ETB is around like $90, and for like White Flare, I believe like it's on around $8.50 for a pack, and then the ETB is like $82. Why? By the way, it's like Team Plaza must be pulling some strings for people to actually think Zekrom is the cooler set than the Reshiram. Just saying. Like, to put in perspective, like a pack of Paldea Evolve is more expensive than a pack of Black Bolt or White Flare, right? It's just kind of crazy because it just released like a month ago, and it has like the $9 range is, you know, like, but it's already at.
Dude, I watched this and I was trying to re-edit my video, bro. Just spit it out, my guy. Holy.
The $9 range, and probably gonna come down more like if it keeps on trend. And it already has all of the in-depth and flavor I mentioned in the previous.
I just do it again 2 seconds after.
It has like all the flavor and in-depthness previously I mentioned, like all the collectability. So I'm really surprised it's selling for like this low of a price. So yeah, here's like the top 10 cards of Black Bolt. As you can see, of course, you have the all black Zekrom and the all red Victini up there. You have all the secret illustration rares, also illustration rares. Basically, pretty much what you would expect. And the same thing for like White Flare. Again, you have the all red card, the all white card, all white Reshiram, and SIRs and illustration rares, right? And I think this is like pretty normal for a set release. Besides like two things. The first one being is it's kind of crazy that the highest cost card is not the respective box legendary. So it's not like the black white rare Zekrom or Reshiram. It's the Victini. Like, okay, I can see it being like the second highest card, but is it like really gonna beat up Zekrom and Reshiram especially? Like, are we serious? And I guess like the all red's really cool. Like, don't get me wrong, but I think the all white card is just the cleanest looking one. I think it's Reshiram Victini Zekrom in my opinion, but I don't know. And then also, this is like where it gets like this is like one of the hobby is like so random. Like, well, why is the Victini in White Flare more expensive than the Victini in Black Bolt? And they're mind you, they are the exact same card. The only difference is if we were to zoom into the bottom left of the card where it tells you what set it comes from, like the card number. White Flare has White Flare marking, and then it'd be 172 out of 086 versus the Black Bolt one, which is 171 out of 086. Literally just one number bigger makes it so that costs $20 more. And another thing is, if you look at the Black Bolt top 10 cards, you might be surprised that Seismitoad is there as an illustration rare only. And I think most people actually don't even know what the Pokemon is. Like, they haven't seen it in their life. So when I first saw this, my interpretation was like the artist and the artwork on the card was like very valuable, and people just put like kind of, it's like a pump and dump. The same thing kind of happened with the Drowsy card and the Scarlet and Violet base set. But apparently I'm wrong. That's not the reason it got so juiced up in price. So we're gonna play a little game of I Spy to see if you can identify what I couldn't about why this card would be such a high price. And I'd be really surprised if you get it. So let's start. So here's the Seismitoad IR. I'm gonna let you look and see if you can figure out what on the card would make it so valuable. Odds are you didn't get it. Yeah, I didn't get it either. And I pulled the Japanese version of the card. So I looked at the artwork myself. I didn't see it. But if we were to look, I think in the top right side of the card, like on a vine, there's like small little vines growing off the bigger vine. And you can make out that it kind of says 666, which is like the devil's number. Obviously not intended in any way. It's just how the artist drew the vine. But people are saying that since it has 666 on the card, Nintendo's gonna ban the card, and then when it gets banned, it'll be super valuable because it's banned. If I had to guess, like it's not gonna get banned, and this card got uber pumped up in price, people just immediately, like after like maybe like a month of it not being banned, people are just gonna sell the card because obviously it's not worth $100+ for Seismitoad. But it's valued this high, so what are you gonna do? But yeah, I definitely think that Black Bolt and White Flare is like such a great standard for new sets going forward, as well as like previously judging past sets. It's like a whole, like this is like, imagine like the quality of cards that will come after Black Bolt and White Flare. It sets like a whole new standard about what a set can be. Especially regarding like region themed. Like you have 151, right? And don't get me wrong, I think 151 paved the driveway so that White Flare and Black Bolt can drive the Mercedes off the lot. Like Generation 2, Generation 3, like people want to go crazy for the Sinnoh region, I promise you, man. And they can do the exact same thing with like extra rarity, doing full artworks for the entire roster. Like it's just, the future looks bright in terms of like the thematics of like actual sets. And if they don't do that, or they don't even make that the level like 151, like that, like shame on them. Like they have 151, which is a good benchmark, and they have Black Bolt, which is a fantastic benchmark. It better fall somewhere in between them. The depth in the actual set itself is really good, and the prices back it up. I think personally, this set is like probably the best set in the Scarlet and Violet era. Like no exaggeration, like no glaze. Like on a Gen 5 level, I know, but even then, like no glaze. Everything about this set is just so peak. It's just peak. If I had to rate all the Scarlet and Violet sets, I think Black Bolt and White Flare are easily top 1. Or like just the best set, like S tier. But it actually sounds like a really cool video, so I actually might make that next, so stay tuned for that. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed the video. I definitely plan to continue reviewing future sets as well as past sets. I'm really excited for the new Mega Evolutions. Obviously, Mega Evolutions are really cool. I think the next one's going to focus on Lucario and Gardevoir, and so that'll be really fun to see how the market reacts to that. So stay tuned for that. Subscribe, hit the like button, and I'm going to say one more time, Black Bolt is worse than White Flare.